So we're here to talk about brilliant things.
Yes.
What is the first brilliant thing you'd like to discuss?
Wagamama.
Okay. Wow, I didn't see that coming.
And for the simple reason that, right? Because we were just talking about touring, you know. I mean, one of the things is I have the bags under my eyes at the moment that my dad used to have from commuting, right? My dad had a proper normal 9 to 5 job that sort of crept to 5 to 9 in reverse, right? Eventually, because he worked he was a workaholic, and he would have these bags under his eyes that would go all the way halfway down his cheeks, and I'd sort of think the one thing that is never going to happen to me is those bags under my eyes, and here I am with them.
Yeah.
But from what I thought would be, you know, I would be set free from that.
Yeah.
So I've sort of this core touring being that needs comforts of various kinds, and Wagamama, right? Yaki udon, number 42.
Okay.
104 ebikatsu.
Bloody hell.
Right, and there's some new things in the starters that I don't know.
They keep it fresh, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know the numbers for them, which I would order.
Yeah.
But
you don't know the numbers. God, you look really weird. Imagine that freaking out the waiter. Sorry, mate, I don't know the numbers.
Well, but the thing is there's just the comfort of the yaki udon, the fat udon noodles, the fried chicken in it, the bits, and it's not a katsu, so you know I've not gone for the katsu curry like everyone else, but basically I've eaten that literally all over the world, and when there was a time I was on tour in New Zealand, a very very long time ago. And I wasn't enjoying it much, and I was away for too long. I was away for like 3-4 weeks, and it was beginning to eat away at me. And I thought, I just need something to sort of cheer me up and to sort of sort me out. And I discovered in Auckland there was a Wagamama, and it was a true hallelujah moment. Like, oh, thank God for that. And I went in there. The menu was the same. And the yaki udon was the same, number 42. And I know a sort of sensitive, intelligent people of the world, chains are bad, right? I know that, man, because their homogeneity and their conformity, and they're treating us like robot consumers. Just bring me that yaki udon, whether it's in Auckland, Dublin, Slough. I don't care where it is. Just bring it me, and I'll eat it, and I'll be happy. And so I just love. I love Wagamama for that.
I'm sort of picturing you in Auckland, like really, really happy to be eating noodles in a city full of noodles.
Oh yeah. And there's no shortage of noodles.
But they must have been like, you're on your own, you're eating these noodles with like this kind of crazy smile on your face, sort of muttering to yourself in between slurps, I'm home. I'm home. They must have thought you were about to go on a killing spree.
Well,
like
possibly.
It was that thing of going.
I think it was 2 minutes past 12. I was like, as soon as it opened, bang, I'm in the door, like, bring me the noodles. And you're absolutely right. There are noodles of every imagined variety. Yeah. It's a great place. It's an amazing place for food, but it was just that thing of
you just need to be
something
home.
Familiar.
And do you take the family there?
Yeah.
And do they have a similar food? Do they love it?
They do, but they order all sorts of different things each time we go, and it's literally.
How do you feel about that?
I'm like, what's wrong with you? The yaki udon's really nice. 42 yaki udon, please.
What kind of foods did you ever go out for food with your parents when you were a kid? Because I often think about that. I was very much, we'd go to Harvester and Beefeater.
Well, no, because
sort of
you didn't,
twice a
did
year.
you?
That's what I mean. And it was like this wild thing of like, we're eating out.
There was a Chinese restaurant, because my parents live, I mean, we keep coming back to Aylesbury. My parents live near enough Aylesbury. There was a Chinese restaurant there that you would go to like every 3 years.
Yeah.
Right? And then there was a fish and chip shop in the next village, a place called Wing, where there was a fish and chip shop run by Chinese people, which, you know, in the 80s in North Buckinghamshire was kind of like the most exotic thing imaginable, right? And we would have fish and chips from there, I don't know, every 5 months as a treat. So just it is really weird. And, you know, my kids, they regard eating out as like completely standard and normal.
Tuesdays. Yeah.
Exactly. And but now they're adults and they have to pay for it themselves. They're kind of like, oh, we've got ourselves in a pickle here because we want to eat out. We can't afford it. And like, well, you know, tough shit. Yeah, but my kids again, and obviously they just think this is like usual, like normal. There's no, and and it's always that thing with I mean, I had a conversation with one of my daughters the other day. She wants to write. She wants to write for film. And so I'm sort of going, well, you know, when I arrived in London in 1991 and the rent was £70 a week, and then I thought, hang on a minute, right? I sound like my dad telling me about how in the late 50s what you do is you get a job for Shell and you work there for the rest of your life. This is just like, I'm beaming this. This is like watching a black and white episode of Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Right, where all the references are weird and strange and wrong. It's just like, and all of this, all of these conversations, when you look back at how things were, I mean, I know that it's the idea is the past is a foreign country, they do things differently there. It's another planet.
Mm. Do you have other chain places you like?
Yeah, but I mean, Pret a Manger is kind of, again, it's like that kind of it's the reliability of, and there's a thing. When we go, I said we're going to stay in France. In the airport, in Toulouse Airport, on your way back, there's a Pret a Manger in France.
Wow, yeah.
Which is like some sort of that's like one go to an Irish pub in Dublin. I mean, it's like the what? If you see what I mean by that, right? And they have the sandwiches are the same. And you think, well, what's going on? What are you doing? You're France,
yeah,
right? And it's Pret a Manger. It's exotic here, or it's not, but you know what it was meant to be. Anyway, but yeah, so
but it is that you're so right. It's that weird thing, like with you've got like Pizza Express, Nando's.
Yeah.
You have these, and I think it's that sort of, it's both wonderful and horrible.
Yes,
because your brain is going, right, well, I'm safe there.
Yeah.
I'm safe there.
Yeah,
and all these kind of brands have become like sort of safety.
But this is,
you roll the dice and kind of go, what about there?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I suppose Nando's is. I had a sort of hot Nando's phase where I'd look people in the eye and say it's the chicken king in the high street. You got to understand that. Right?
You'd look them in the eyes and say that.
Oh yeah, like be deadly sincere. Yeah.
And,
no, seriously, no, really, it's the chicken king in the high street.
He's fucking intense about chicken.
But I've not as much anymore, and I think I had a bad Nando's experience somewhere, and it kind of derailed me a bit. But I don't know. I mean, it is that it's touring because you're dislocated all the time. You one of the and this is a real poor me thing. I love gigging, I love touring, I love going to different theatres, I love audiences, I love all that. But what happens is you get into this sort of pattern where basically you start a day and you think there's no point me doing anything because the doorbell's going to ring at 2:00 and they're going to take me away. And even if it's a tour manager who you love, you've worked with for years and years and years, is one of your best friends and all that. I've been working with Adam Booker, my tour manager, for 15 years now. We are the best friends anyone could ever be.
Does he eat udon noodles?
He always has a chicken katsu curry.
Okay, right. Continue. Yeah.
And he says, "You have an yaki udon, aren't you?" And it's like we are. Like, I mean, we are like an old married couple, and there is, but there's no sex as well. So we are like an old married couple. It's the thing of your day always 2:00, 3:00, doorbell goes, ding dong, or I get a text. You got to move on. And I went through a period in my life where I found it very, very hard to do. If I was on tour, I'd literally sort of go into kind of stasis and not be able to organise anything or do anything or get anything else done. And that is like, and the pandemic is the thing that broke that chain for me because I'd never been at home as long.
Yeah.
18 months at home. That's never happened before. I've never had a month where I've not been away for a night.
How did that first Wagamama feel post-COVID? Must have been incredible.
Yeah, I've no idea. I think it was in Bedford.
Oh, yeah.
I think, yeah. And I didn't know there was a Wagamama and I was looking for someone to eat and I stumbled across one. It's like, oh, yeah, exactly.
And Britain's back.
Exactly. It's the Proustian Madeleine, the yaki udon for me. It's like, wherever, I can tell you all the places in the world I've eaten it. Excellent. And I felt the same wherever I was because of that noodle dish.
Do you know what Wagamama means?
No.
Selfish.
Does it?
Yeah.
Wagamama?
In Japan, kids are told not to be Wagamama.
Really?
Yeah. It's They call it, so obviously it's not a direct translation because words between Japanese and British.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it's partly to do with this Japanese idea of kaizen, where you're always searching for improvement. So selfish also could mean picky or fussy. So they call it Wagamama, like we're always trying to improve and make it better.
Right.
Wow. So there's a sort of connotation between selfish and improvement.
Yeah, picky.
Wow. Isn't that interesting? But as in picky,
I like that.
picky to improve.
Yeah.
Wow, I like that.